We are back at the Desmos Calculator training for the Texas STAAR Algebra 1 assessment. So to get the link to this page, go down to your show notes and click that link, and then you will click this green button, Sign In, select Grade EOC, click STAAR Practice Sets, scroll down and click on Mathematics Algebra 1 Practice Test, click Select, and click on Begin Test Now. Now, unfortunately, we're skipping all the way to question 16. So to do that, unfortunately, you have to click this over and over again and click on these warnings, because it's going to tell you it doesn't like what you're doing. You're skipping questions. This is an adaptive test. I don't even know if it'll let you do this on the real one, but it may not want you to jump ahead because it needs to know what you know to know what to give you. So unlike this test, the items don't change in this test. They will change depending on how you're doing. So I'm going to let y'all just go ahead and do that, and then we'll meet together on item 16. So just keep clicking next and keep clicking yes till you get to item 16. Okay, so hopefully you have clicked and joined me, and you're now on item number 16. We're given an expression with Z, and we're given some answer choices, and we're looking for an equivalent expression. To do this, click on Calculator. I'm going to choose the Desmos Graphing Calculator. For those of you who are curious, to get back to that screen, click this button at the top left, and you can switch over to the other calculator if you need it. But I'm going to stay with Desmos for this training. So let's go ahead and type in this first expression, but we need to name a function of Z. So I'm using f of Z, and then I'm going to type in this product. So Z plus 5 multiplied by Z squared minus 4Z plus 6. All right, I'm going to pull this down. So you can press the screen and just drag down. If you have your mouse, you can zoom out if you want to see more of the graph, but that's kind of what we're looking at. All right, now we're going to go to our answer choices. So I'm going to move this to this side so I can see them. And I'm going to type in the first answer choice. I'm going to name another function of Z. So you can use G or H or whatever. G of Z is a good name. And then we'll put an equal sign, and then we'll type in this function. Now, for this problem, we're looking for the graph of our answer to match the graph of the problem we were given. Equivalent means they're going to produce the same graph, equal. So if it's equal graphs, it's equivalent expressions. So I'm going to go ahead and look over here at this one. Let me pull this out so you can see. This expression is not giving the same graph. In mine, notice the blue and the red are definitely different, so that is not going to work. So I'm going to go to answer choice B. So I'm going to delete the Z to the third, and I'm going to delete the 5. So I've got Z squared plus Z plus 11. Well, this is a parabola. You might have already known that. And this graph is not supposed to be a parabola. So this one's not working either. So let's add in a Z cubed. We're on answer choice C. So this is Z to the third plus Z to the second minus 14Z plus 30. And then all of a sudden the red's gone in the graph. And that's because this graph has covered it. If you click the blue button next to this function, you'll see the red underneath. That's telling you these are equivalent. The correct answer was C. So the next item we're going to do is number 19. So let's go to 17, 18, click yes. 19, click yes. Okay, this time we're given an equation and we're looking for the solution. Well, we can't just type that in. We can't even just change the m's to x's and type it in. It's not going to work. But what we can do is the same thing we just did, and that is take each side of our equation and write functions of m. So I'm going to start by writing f of m equals 10 minus 3 times m minus 5. That's the left side of this equation. Now the right side, I'm going to come up with another name. We'll stick with g, I guess. G of m is equal to 2 times 5 minus m. And these are intersecting lines. I need to see that point of intersection. And so I'm going to come down here and click, and that's going to give me my point of intersection. Now your answer is actually m is equal to 15. Not the y value, but the m. There is no y value in these equations, only like the x, the input. So you're going to put a 15 in this box. So let's go ahead and put our 15 here. I don't think it's going to let you type an M, so you just put the 15 in there. So 15, and that's all you do. There's no enter button. All right, the next item that we're doing is number 22. So click here, go to 20, click again, say yes, click again, say yes, and we're now on 22. We've done one like this before, and I'm going to use the same strategy again. We're using a table to analyze this function, or analyze these answer choices. So let's start with our calculator, and let's type the first answer choice. F of x equals 43 multiplied by 1.075, and let's raise it to the x power. That's shift 6, and then put your exponent x. Go to the next row in your calculator and press the plus sign where it says add item. You're going to choose table, and you're going to type in 0 because it said started with 40 employees. So anytime it says started or initial amount or begins, those are kind of keywords that tell you to start at 0. And then you're going to go up from there. So I'll go to 5, and then up here on the Y, let's take this out and type F, open parentheses, X1. You have to put the 1 so that it knows to use the column to the left. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the other video, but you just type 1. There's no typing anything to make a subscript. It automatically makes that for you. So I can tell immediately this is not working because it said the shipping company started with 40 employees. Well, this is starting with 43 employees, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and skip down to answer choice B, and that's going to change this to a 40, which now it does start at 40. And it does say the number is increasing, which you can't read that, but it says that it's increasing at 7.5%. Well, this is definitely increasing. There's only one problem here, and that's D that has the 40. So let's try that to make sure. I'm going to put a 0.075, and this is not increasing anymore. It's decreasing. So that means the only answer that will work is B. It's the only one that starts at 40 and it increases. So you don't even need to really check the 7.5% in this case. The correct answer was B. All right, the next item is item number 26. So click next, say yes, click next, say yes, click next, and say yes. And here we are at 26. Now, which expression is a factor? For this one, you don't have to name a function because it automatically assumes it's a function when it has an x like that. So as long as there's a single variable x, not an x and a y, it will treat it like a function. So let's just type in this expression exactly as it appears on the test. Okay, so I'm going to pull this down, or you can zoom out if you want to see all of it. The vertex is up here, and the zeros or the roots or the x-intercepts are down here. So the question is which of these are factors. Well, one thing you need to know, if you don't already, and this was in our last video, the factors will intersect the x-intercepts of this parabola. So if it's crossing either one of these 2 points, -4, 0, or that other point, 8.8330, if it goes through there, it's a factor. So let's try 3x minus 5. And it does create a line that intersects the parabola, but not where it's supposed to. It needs to intersect at one of these x-intercepts. So that one does not work. Let's change this 3 to a 6. We're on answer choice B. And that one does work. That does intersect the x-intercept of the parabola. So that means it is a factor. We're going to choose B. All right, the last one today we're going to do is 27. A function is transformed to create this function. Complete this sentence and choose the correct answer from the drop-down boxes to complete the sentence. All right, so these are pretty straightforward. You type them exactly as they are on the test. So we're doing f of x equals x squared. And then we're going to do g of x equals f of x minus 2 and then plus 5. And you should see 2 parabolas here. So remember that we start with the red one, which is the one at 0, 0, and then we ended up here. So the question is, whoa, be careful. I'm going to need the vertex. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, at 2, 5. The vertex is at 2, 5. So 0, 0, and that one's at 2, 5. So let's choose some answers from our drop-down menu. I'm going to try to get this smaller so it's not in my way. Well, let's move it. All right. Choose the correct answer. The graph of f of x is translated to units up, down, left, or right. Well, let's see. What was that? Well, it went 2 to the right because it starts at 0 and then you got to go over 2 to get to 2, 5. So we're going to say 2 units right. And then 5 units is going up. So it went up 5 because the y was 5. So we're going to say up 5. And that's all there is to it. So that one's very straightforward in the Desmos Calculator. That concludes our training for today. Hopefully you've learned something. If you've not watched the previous 2 videos in this series, be sure to check those out. There are 2 more videos in this series coming, so stay tuned. And until then, y'all have a great day.